Welcome to LC Screen Talk. My name is Larry, and this is my review of Sound of Metal. Sound of Metal is a 2020 drama that follows the life of a heavy metal drummer as his life is thrown into freefall once he begins to rapidly lose his hearing. Directed by Darius Martyr, this film is being distributed by Amazon Studios, right in the nick of time for awards season. Now, the buzz I had heard about this film came purely from the festival circuits, as Riz Ahmed's performance, particularly, seemed to garner a lot of praise. Now, admittedly, I just love Riz Ahmed. I think he's a really underrated actor, and I'm intrigued anytime he's in a project, period. Plus, I had just watched another film with him that revolves around him portraying a musician that goes through an illness that derails his life at the Denver Film Festival called Mogul Mowgli. Go ahead and leave a card up here for that review. But it was a wonderful film with a wonderful performance from Ahmed. So that just really heightened my excitement for Sound of Metal. And ultimately, I thought this film was fantastic. Instantly shot up to one of my favorite film experiences of 2020. So, let's go ahead and talk about the positives first. Well, I do want to start off with Riz Ahmed because he delivers a stellar performance. All of the emotional and narrative crux hangs completely in the balance of Riz Ahmed's passionate, really empathetic performance that fully envelops this character and draws you as a viewer in to what he's experiencing, what he's going through, his mindset. Certainly amongst his best work, if not the best performance he's given of his career. It is wonderful. I do think Olivia Cooke is wonderful as well, as is all of our supporting cast across the board, from our deaf students to the others who are living in this house with him, to the father and the physicians. Literally everybody in this film gives a strong performance that builds a lived-in world around this man. But I also have to give huge props to the sound design, which creates an extremely visceral and transportive experience for the viewer. You are literally put into the experience of this man as he loses his hearing, as he is trying to grapple with that, as we go through different phases of the hearing loss process. I don't know how this can be beaten. I mean, this was amazing work in the sound department. It's truly an accomplishment because we start with a big, metal, bombastic opening, and the sound alone just takes you on a complete and fully realized journey. It's really special work. In addition, I think Darius Martyr does an excellent job directing this film, once again adding to Riz's performance, adding to this insane sound design experience to create this very visceral, very interesting, in many ways experimental and innovative experience for the viewer to go on. Thanks to his direction, you feel as though you were given access that we have never really been granted in other films to the deaf community's experience in some sort, and I think it was just really well handled. Plus, this was a very emotional film. I'll speak on the narrative just a moment in the negatives, but overall, the journey takes you on such an emotional path, and I was deeply affected. I just sat there, kind of staring at the screen as we come to a conclusion. And what the film was trying to say and what it's trying to convey, it does so in such beautiful, poetic fashion. It's a really deep film that goes beyond the layers of just some experiment, some sensory overload, if you will. No, it cuts a lot deeper than that, and I think it does so very effectively. So then, what doesn't work so well when it comes to Sound of Metal? I think the only real area the film falters on is that the dramatic aspects of the narrative are underdeveloped. We don't really get a good sense of our characters outside of this isolated experience. We're given hints, we're given clues, but we don't really get those development moments with them. So as that third act comes and we have new types of revelations with our characters, they don't resonate quite as well because our exposure and our experience with these characters is pretty much done solely through this singular isolated experience. Particularly with the Olivia Cook character, there's potential there for a big emotional hit, and it hits well enough, and it's not a failure by any means. However, if that character had been around more, if we had had more time with her, any type of background exposure with her, it would have really landed a punch. But honestly, I would say that this is definitely a secondary type of complaint. It's a way to push this already pretty great film over that edge, because as it is, the experience and the story that is crafted around this particular circumstance is a full story. It is a full narrative that takes you on a complete journey with particularly Riz Ahmed's character. And it's done so in such beautiful fashion. So, given the fantastic lead performance from Ahmed and that insanely beautiful sound design work from top to bottom and stunning direction, I definitely think that Sound of Metal is worth checking out. I know it's getting a limited release in theaters, and I think this would be a wonderful film to experience in a movie theater just to get that complete immersion that this movie has to offer. Definitely give it a full price ticket. Though, please make sure that you follow all of your city and movie theaters' health and safety guidelines if you do choose to go see it. However, it will also be available on Prime Video beginning December. So if you're not in a position or feel comfortable heading to a theater, definitely take advantage of that Amazon account and check this out once it hits Prime Video. So, that is my review of Sound of Metal. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead, click like down below, and subscribe to the channel so you are always up to date on my latest videos. Also, join in on the discussion. Are you excited to see Sound of Metal? And what is your favorite film starring Riz Ahmed? Let me know either in the comment section down below, or you can hit me up on Twitter. I love you all so much for your continued support. Mwah! Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!